So this message goes to my friends in Africa and my friend who, wanted to be a social media content creator, who found me online through a connection to my YouTube channel. One of my subscribers on one of my YouTube accounts that I don't think I have anymore. Maybe it's the same account. I don't remember. I have had so many accounts on so many platforms. I'm not certain. But their community started growing and doing so well. I set up a fundraiser for them, and there were a lot of funds coming in for them. And currently I am way below the poverty level. And, there are things that I would like to be able to do and accomplish. And, I can't accomplish any of those things. I am not able to support my children in the ways that I would want to support them. I am not able to build the dreams and the ideas that I have. And, I'm in a place where I could really use like help and, what I want to build and what I want to make for the world, like tools that are for the future, like that developing nations would be able to use, the nation I live in would be able to use, like, that are part of like a technologically advanced race. Like, I can't build those if I have nothing. But the dream and the vision, like, I've already done the work. Like, I've made the things that I see. And maybe you guys don't know what that looks like, but, there's a tool that they teach every single student in, the country I live in to use. And so, they are all taught that as part of like a primary education. And, the thing that I want to give back is, a way to like understand sound. And I mean, it'd be a connection to the whole world, and like the whole world could use it with the same tools. And there are languages, but I have to be able to like get funds to be able to build these things. And simply like working to go clean for somebody isn't going to build those things. I can't even make enough money to pay my mom back for my rent. She's in jeopardy of losing her house. So, and I go to work and I get sick. Every time I go to work, I get sick. And I go to the hospital. And, that's where I'm at. So I had to stop helping my friends in Africa. I had to close a fundraiser that I was using to help them. And I had to do that today. So this message is for them. I'm sorry. I tried to figure out a way that I could keep helping them. And, the more that we spoke and like the more I was trying to like offer them an education, like the more, I saw like maybe, they're not capable of like, they're still advancing and developing, and there's certain things that they don't understand. And so then I started thinking about the fact that like some of these companies sourced work to Africa because it was cheaper to have Africans do some labor for us. But do you understand like what it is like you're doing? Like, do you not understand like what the vision is? And in the United States of America, like, you are a soul and consciousness that is learning that you are responsible for every bit of your data. And it's gonna be remembered. Nobody else owes you. Your country doesn't own you. Like, you paid your way to support yourself in a system that someday maybe you get to exist outside of. A system free as the one where we were born, where we didn't know better, because it was the first example that was made. So I tried to work with, my friend there and get her to understand what it is that she was, doing. Like, if I was going to help you and something happened to me, like, and I was going to leave this way to be able to help you, like, are you willing to pay for this? Are you willing to pay for that? Like, sorry, there's somebody messaging me at the same time as I'm sending this. And, maybe, the fact that, like, I said those things will help, her start teaching others. She's has her own social media content creator, but do you understand what it is that you are and the content you're creating, and, like, the level of consciousness, like, that is reflected there in what you should be paying for and what you are paying for. And I shared with her my education, the way I see things, and yeah. So I'm sorry to them today for having to stop doing what it was that I was doing to help them, but I can't be responsible for you, like, your soul and consciousness, like, if you're not able to, like, understand, like, what it is that you're paying me, and, like, we're talking about it, and I'm trying to explain to you the percentage, that it would be allocated to me because this is what I'm doing. And I made a promise to my country when I got a business license, and a commitment, to the social media message that I was making, that I was willing to cover, these expenses for myself and to teach others about what that meant. If we become a world where we're sharing our messages with others, like an advanced race of beings, that would be, like, as free as possible. Like, what is it to have children and not have time to raise them? Because our whole country is so busy doing jobs that we don't get to be at home with our kids. And when you're at home with your kids, you don't have energy to be a parent. I mean, a couple days, a couple hours a week, like, so, I went to school to be a teacher so that I would have the most time at home with my kids as possible. I chose a job that I knew I would make less money than everyone else so I could be a mom. And they took my freaking kids. Or maybe they taught me more about who I was, or taught me to understand that the only one I can take when I leave here is me. How do you sit up in a place called heaven, watching all the life that you loved, especially your children, if you couldn't bring them? So here's my messages to my children, the world's children, my country's children. in the land of the free and the home of the brave. How did we get free? You learned what it was to pay for yourselves. So, my message to want to support other countries, that's what I was trying to get my friend to understand. And no matter what I said and how I said it, she wasn't there yet. So I can't keep giving you money or being like the source of helping you to do what it is that I'm doing. She said, that she was going to be her own teacher. How can you be your own teacher when it takes a village to raise a child? There were some, conflicts of interest and some differences in us, so. But it doesn't mean that I don't believe in her and I don't love her and that I don't support her, growth and development. It just means that, we're at different places in time and space and, someday you'll get there. I can understand, now why my content, holds, a niche, right? There is a niche, there is a group of people that would be able to understand what it is that I'm saying or talking about. But if you don't get it here, until you get it, until what you understand what it needs to pay for yourself, to claim you, to have a message that is so important, that there's no other choice than to film yourself so you can share with others. That's how I got fully here. Whatever it was that I knew somebody else needed to know. And I wouldn't know those things if I didn't love others more than I loved myself at first. It's the only thing I'm good at. Or it's at least what I'm best at. Maybe someday there'll be somebody who wanted to love me as much as I love them. I can't talk anymore. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe for more content.